What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Madden 18, some commentary for you. I want you to take a look at this play at speed and really ask yourself, is this next-gen football? Is this PS4 level collision, player avoidance, player awareness, player impacts? I just don't know realistically that it is. And to me, this is one of the big changes we have to see going forward. I want you to watch number 92, right there, kind of right in front of the screen. But watch also that number 60 releases this block. Terrell Suggs is actually going to dive through both number 92 and the offensive lineman. But again, keep a very close eye on Dontari Poe, number 92. He just had Suggs go through him. As 28 breaks this tackle, Dontari Poe is being pushed backwards into the ball carrier. Now, for some reason, more than likely animationally, he is taken from this position where he is basically bent over backwards, spun around with no regard for the lineman that's blocking him, and actually begins to start to make a tackle on the ball carrier. The problem being Anza was already in the process of tackling the ball carrier, and there's no animation that Dontari Poe can do right now. So instead, he just starts kind of chugging along for a few steps behind the halfback. He's not actually trying to tackle him until the linebacker comes in, takes the knee out from underneath the ball carrier, and then everyone kind of collapses into a little pile. To me, this is not what I expect from a next-gen console. And I mean that maybe as the most respectful way possible toward the developers. I don't know who looked at this collision detection system. I don't know who looked at this physics system. I don't know who looked at the player avoidance system and said, okay, there might be a few hiccups, but for the most part, it's going to work. I didn't even touch on the motion shift block that number 44 did here because it's so insignificant to the entirety of the play where you have one player, not known for trucking, mind you, going through two defensive tackles. Something that Christian Okoye, Natron Means, Jerome Bettis, they weren't known for trucking multiple defensive tackles. Yet in Madden, it can be an every down occurrence if you allow it to be, and so much of it is based on the fact that you have animation transitions that don't work properly, with a physics-based system that isn't always functioning, with players that collide and honestly don't do anything but ragdoll themselves into the ground or into each other. I just showed you a player that was turned around the opposite direction and being blocked, who spun around to start a tackle that ended a play. There's no place for that in simulation football. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on this. I appreciate you checking it out. You know that I'll be back in the week with more commentary.